Hey fellow YouTube fans out there, this is Russell D with Lazy Bones Construction. Just an FYI tip, when working with wall trim that is going to go horizontal. In my case, it's a chair rail coming across. This corner is not exactly 90 degrees. So an easy way to find that, I have my Kreg Tool corner jig. I guess that's what they call it. Not familiar with all their tool names yet. But it basically tells me the angle, if I can do this one-handed, of my corner. When coming over here, you'll see wall angle shows to be roughly 130. I'm assuming those are twos in increments of 2, so that's 34, maybe 33. Don't have to be precise. A lot of people, when they're looking at a miter saw, they say, well, if I take that 130 divided in half, I get roughly 65. Well, there's not a 65 degree on here. There's a 0 degree to 45. Same on this side, and all the smaller ones in between. Lesson I learned is that if you take and go with your angles on your left, you go 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. In my case, it ended up being 66 degrees. So that's one line over, which would be 25. So I added, then added backwards. Again, that's 45, 50, 55, 60, 65. 66 would be one notch, which I took several pieces and I created a scrap piece or a sample piece. If I can do this with the camera and the other, I'll put it up here for you and then bring back the camera. It's not a tight fit by any means, but of course for us homeowners or do-it-yourselfers, this is a really good fit, because now you can put caulk in that crack and it'll look like it's never there. So that's the tip of the day when doing wall angles and you're working on a miter saw where your angles may be greater than 90 degrees. Always remember to start 0, count 45, and then count backwards, but adding upwards. So 45, 50, 55, 60, and so forth. And so if you think of it this way, if this is 0, that's 45. Well, what is 45 and 45? It's 90. You'll never have an angle more than the actual, I think it's 180. I'll double check. Yeah, the greatest angle you'll have is 180 on a wall angle. Then it starts going backwards from there. And in that case, your angles will fall in the same route, but just instead of cutting it this direction, you'll cut it on the other side, which will cause you to go around a corner in your typical fashion. Now, I am not an expert. I don't claim to be an expert, but I am doing a home project for a customer who happens to also be my landlady to renovate this master suite. And I hope this tip helps you out there. Bye.